Well, if I have to give women advice about two things to keep in mind, I think often women maybe get upset when people underestimate them or treat them maybe in ways that show a lack of respect. And my response has always been to turn things around. And if people are going to underestimate you, then maybe you should use that for your advantage and take advantage of the situation, because you can surprise people and you can often negotiate from a position of strength if somebody thinks they can underestimate you. The second thing that I think is important is that I think it's inevitable that women have to prove themselves a little more. And so sometimes I use the analogy of Ginger Rogers, and that may date me a lot because people may not remember who that is. That was Fred Astaire's dancing partner. And it was said about her, since he got a lot of acclaim for dancing, is don't forget she had to do everything he did, but she had to do it backward and in high heels. And so I think there is something to be said for being able to make it look easy, but knowing you have to work a little bit harder. I think what women can learn from the book is that there are things that are more characteristic of men that sometimes women have trouble dealing with, like the issue of self-confidence and the issue of going for it. And maybe it's the testosterone factor that people think of with men, and that is that men seem to have been raised with this sense that they have to be strong and self-confident. And I think often women are a little less comfortable with that, and I think you can do it in a feminine way, but I think that women can learn something from that, from having the self-confidence to go forward and stick up for themselves. I think there's a couple things that women can do, but I also think it's a little bit systemic. So I think from the agency's point of view, the organization's point of view, you have to make sure there is not a glass ceiling and that there's an effort to recruit women at higher levels in the organization and put them on a career track so that there's a daisy chain or there's a succession plan that includes more women. And you have to be committed that it's the position that gets the salary and not the gender that gets the salary. For the women, I think you can't accept anything less than that. And if you feel that you're being promoted into a position of greater responsibility, it's not enough just to get the job. I think you have to get what comes with the job. And that's not just the work side. And I think women are a little less reticent, or a little more reticent to negotiate for themselves. They're not very good negotiators. Women are apologetic sometimes for asking for money and a little more timid about it. And I think you just have to decide for yourself that you're worth it and that you're going to go in and you're going to get your, advance your own position.